How you doing, everyone? Scott back again, this time for a vinyl and CD collection update. I've actually got quite a lot over the last few weeks and it has kind of accumulated, so I'm going to get some of it out of the way. I was going to do it all, but I don't want the video to be half an hour long. So what I'll do, as usual, I'll start with the CD. I do have other CDs I really want to show, but I'm just going to show this one in this video. So it is 1999's Masterpiece by Metal Church. Now, for some of you who have been trying to get hold of this, you'll know it's an absolute bastard to try and find, and if you do find it, you're looking at about 20 quid upwards. So I did not buy this for 20 quid. I bought this for less than that. So I'm kind of on the fence whether it's a bootleg or not. It was released by Steam Hammer. I mean, everything looks legit. Everything looks like high quality, the booklet. But I think the thing that gives it away is that the disc has not got a mark on it. I mean, it's pristine. So I looked on the guy I bought it from off eBay. I looked on his page, and do you know what? It wasn't that cheap that I thought it's definitely a bootleg. So that's what's kind of swaying me to the other side. But I mean, I looked at the other stuff he has. It's priced accordingly. It should be the way it should be priced. And normally with a guy who just sells bootlegs, it's all like a $5 or, you know, it's all the same price. So yeah, that's why I'm kind of on the fence about it. But anyway, whether it's a bootleg or not, it's a superb album. This is the one album that, you know, I didn't really just want to jump in and listen to. It kind of sits in the middle of their discography, so I kind of overlooked it. So this sees the return of David Wayne on vocals, and you know, he always puts in an amazing performance, one of the best in the business. And I was just, do you know what? Because nobody really talks about it, I was surprised at how good it was. Because, I mean, even with the first song, Sleeps with Thunder, I mean, listen to that song, it's fucking awesome. But that doesn't take away from the rest of the album. The rest of the album is solid. A couple of ballads on there as well. Well, not ballads, but, you know, kind of like slower songs as well. But, you know, it's an amazing album. And you never really see it getting mentioned, well, within the people I watch anyway. So I was really happy to pick that up and kind of add it into the Metal Church collection, because I'm kind of on a mission now just to kind of complete that collection. I'm quite keen to do a Metal Church album ranking. So I always like to do that when I've got all the CDs or vinyl in my hands. So I was really pleased to pick that up, although it might be a bootleg, but I'm not sure. But yeah, if you've not checked this out, do check it out. Although if you really love it, you'll probably find it an absolute pain in the arse to find. But anyway, Metal Church and Masterpiece. Return of David Wayne didn't disappoint. Metal Church, consistent all the way through. You know what they're like. They're just fucking awesome. So that is that one. So we'll move on to the vinyl. I'll start with a highly anticipated reissue for me. That might give it away already, but this was released last Friday, and it is Ozzy Osbourne and No More Tears, finally reissued 30 years on. And I think that's what kind of like spurred on the thought to reissue it, as its 30th anniversary. But if you've ever tried to find this on vinyl, which I'm sure a few of you have, it's an absolute pain in the arse to find. If you do find it, you're paying probably triple figures. So I don't care how good your album is, I'm not paying triple figures for it. So yeah, as soon as I heard this was coming out for a reissue, I was straight into the pre-order, and that was a done deal. Just double disc, black vinyl. It's kind of no frills. There's no lyric sheet. You do have a gatefold with pictures of Ozzy. But that's about it. Just comes in plain, you know, plain black sleeves. But I'm not fussed. I'm just glad to finally have this on vinyl. 1991's No More Tears. Just absolutely awesome. I mean, my favourite tracks in this would be, I love the kick-off track, Mr. Tinker Train, although it just kind of has that sudden stop that always confuses me. I Don't Want to Change the World, My Mum Coming Home. That's maybe one of the first solo Ozzy songs that I heard back in the day. Desire, No More Tears, the title track's awesome. Hellraiser is, I think, one of his best. I love that song. So, there we go. Ozzy Osbourne, No More Tears, finally reissued on vinyl. So glad to have that. Next up is going to be from a band that I discovered this year, and I thought it was actually through their brand new release, which is probably kind of odd, but I saw their brand new release on Amazon, picked it up. It was cheap. Sampled a few songs, thought they were really good. Got the album in, and honestly, it's one of my favourites of this year. It'll probably be in my top 5 of this year. It's that good. It's probably the album I've listened to the most from the new releases this year. So the album that was released this year it's by Artillery, called X. So I jumped back into Artillery's discography and picked up Fear of Tomorrow, their debut from 1985. This is the reissue, Back on Black, released in 2019. This comes on white vinyl, nice and fresh. Obviously not what Artillery sound like now. I mean, this is 1985. Their newest album was released a few months ago, but this is more raw, more thrash. Their newer stuff, it is thrash with a bit of speed metal, just your regular heavy metal as well. But this is definitely your more, you know, back to basics, raw thrash that you'd expect from 1985. Definitely an awesome pickup, and cheap as well. I think I got this for about 13 quid, so I was not passing that up. Inside, gatefold with lyrics and, you know, just usual pictures and stuff. But yeah, glad to pick that up. I really enjoyed it, and I thought that's also an album or a band that don't really get shown a lot, so I wasn't really expecting much. Maybe that's why I enjoyed it so much, because I just thought, you know, it really surpassed my expectations. Next up is an album that I've been looking for years, and I mean years. And I got it in, listened to it, and it was just, it wasn't a disappointment, because I really enjoyed the album, but I really thought it was going to be heavier. I remember it being heavier, because I've not listened to it probably for years, stuck it on my eBay want list. When it comes up, it's usually expensive, and you don't really see it anyway. So I've never really kind of like delved back into it, and it's Excalibur and One Strange Night. So Excalibur kind of started off as a new album band around, you know, 81, 82. They never really got any traction. I think they just kept pumping out EPs, and this ended up being their only studio release, full-length studio release. And you know, side A is a bit like I can't even get my words out. Side A is like the rocking side, and side B, it kind of takes a little turn onto the lighter side of stuff, which I was kind of a bit like, you know, it's getting a bit light from what I was expecting and from what I'd heard on side A. But nonetheless, it was a good album. It will be getting more spins. Just I kind of forgot what it sounded like. But I always think when you see a woman's name as a song title, Carol Ann, that kind of gives away like it's going to be a bit of a ballad, a slower song. I mean, obviously you will get these songs that aren't, but yeah, and even judging by the way they look a bit more AOR than speed metal. So, you know, I forgot, but still pretty good. So that's and they're obviously from the UK, their new album. So I think that was from 1990. Moving on. Finally picked up 2019's Hostile Defiance by Exzoomer. I kind of jumped in with Exzoomer with the Raging Tides. Or it might have been... No, it might have been Possessed by Fire. But the first album I picked up by them was the Raging Tides. And I love that album. So I thought, you know, I definitely need to go out and grab this. But it's been pretty hard to pick up. I've seen it on, it's been on eBay, but it's always been about £27, £32, £35, and I'm like, why? But finally saw this on EMP for £17.99 and I was all over it. So it just kind of carries on that modern sound of Exzoomer. You know, with the Raging Tides, it's got that modern production, amazing breakdowns. Like, you know, the music's, it's angry but it's melodic. It's everything I like in a thrash album. Just on normal black. Released on Metal Blade, so I mean Metal Blade always do an amazing job with their releases. You know, with this spoiling sleeve and lyric sheet and all that kind of good stuff. There's probably a poster in here as well that I'm trying to... I know, it's not. They normally stick a poster in here, but I never noticed the poster when I took it out the last time. Anyway, yeah, definitely worth trying out. It just kind of carries on from the Raging Tides. It's not got that kind of rawness, obviously, from the 80s. It does have that modern sound, but well worth checking out if you're a thrash fan, because my guess is you'll love it. Next up, when I picked up Exzoomer, I was flicking through EMP and I saw these albums, and I'm sure Cloudy Milder has showed this band before. So I thought, you know, the artwork and stuff was kind of interesting, so I thought I'll give it a go. I went on YouTube, gave the album a go, and honestly, I couldn't have clicked buy fast enough. Which is strange, because the way I'm going to describe this album, you'll think, really? But honestly, amazing. It is the band Night, and this is their debut, Raft. I don't know if it is their debut, but it's called Raft of the World. So this is it, Night, Raft of the World. Absolutely awesome, and honestly, I'm not joking. I was like, when I listened to it, I thought it's so different that, and like so fresh sounding. I had to buy it. So I'm pretty sure this is, I think they've only got 2 albums. Yeah, but I mean, the first song, Fire Across the Sky, then Surrender, Under the Gallows, just, it's, let me try and describe this now. It's like 70s hard rock mixed with new wave of traditional heavy metal with like some funk bits in it. You almost get some kind of like speed metal in there as well, but it's mainly like, it's really 70s focused, but it just works amazingly well. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people who watch this video will think it's crap. Like, it's probably not, it's not up their street at all. But I would definitely urge you to give Night a listen, because they are awesome. And I was just kind of, and the thing is, like, 70s hard rock really isn't my thing, but it works so well with, mixed with the kind of new wave of traditional heavy metal sound. The vocalist is awesome. Yeah, I would definitely urge you to try out Night, Raft of the World. Like I said, I'm not overly sure if that's their debut or not, but yeah. Anyway, it came on gold vinyl, not real gold, and just your basic inner with lyrics. So I picked that up and I thought, you know, I had to have it. And then I kind of scrolled down a little bit, and then I saw this. Again, Night. And High Tides, Distant Skies. And I thought, okay, I'm going to give this one a go, because I thought I don't want to just kind of jump on the second album just because of the first. And it's just exactly, it just carries on from the first album. So here we go. And it doesn't look, you know, it does have that 70s, even the font is like a 70s font, you know. There's a picture of the band, very 70s looking. But again, you need to check them out. I mean, me trying to explain what these guys sound like probably isn't doing them justice. I think you just need to go on and listen for yourself. New wave traditional heavy metal, 70s awesomeness. I think they're Swedish. So definitely try out Night. I think this was, yeah, this is just a black, comes on black vinyl, lyrics and credits there as well. So yeah, give them a go. If you do give them a go, because I don't know what you guys are like. This is how I kind of think. I don't always click with a band if it's been recommended to me. Sometimes I just like to kind of dive down the rabbit hole and see what I find, and I always appreciate a band more sometimes when I discover them for myself. You know, it's not somebody, I wouldn't say ramming it down your throat, but if somebody says, you know, listen to this, you kind of feel a bit forced to, you know, make a snap decision of whether you like it or not. And I'm pretty sure Andy showed that, and I don't go and check out every band that every person shows. But when I did finally listen to it, I just thought, my God, it's awesome. So I'm really glad to have discovered Night. So that is my update. Hopefully I will be back soon with some sort of other update or maybe an album ranking. I've got a couple on my mind that I'm going to do, but I don't know if I'm going to do them soon or not. But in the meantime, let me know what you think of my pickups. If you listen tonight, let me know what you think of them, and I will see you very, very soon. Cheers.